Podtastic.
I'm in the men's department at Target, and among the pop culture t-shirts here, there's one I found very interesting. A t-shirt based on the 1999 movie Cruel Intentions. This one came as a surprise to me. In addition to these t-shirts, the movie's coming back to theaters this week for 1 week only in honor of the 20th anniversary. A full week. I mean, this is a regular release with multiple shows a day for a full week. We're not talking about like 1 or 2 nights only, like a Fathom event. I mean, a lot of movies get Fathom event re-releases for like 1 or 2 nights in honor of a significant anniversary. They're doing The Karate Kid later on this month. But a full week-long release for Cruel Intentions? Really? This begs the question, merchandise in Target, theatrical re-release? Is this movie really that popular? Does this movie have a cult following that I was unaware of? Office Space, Fight Club, The Iron Giant, Being John Malkovich. These are just some of the movies. The Matrix. These are just some of the films that came out in 1999. Movies that I still hear people talk about to this day that I would understand a theatrical re-release for over Cruel Intentions. What's going on? And yet I don't see t-shirts for The Matrix, Office Space, or Being John Malkovich here. Only Cruel Intentions. There were not 1, but 2 attempts to turn Cruel Intentions into a TV series. The first attempt was in the year 2000 when the Fox network ordered a prequel series called Manchester Prep. 3 episodes were shot, and Amy Adams played the Sarah Michelle Gellar role. Fox pulled the plug after 3 episodes were shot, and those 3 episodes were later edited together and turned into the made-for-TV movie Cruel Intentions 2. Then they later on made a 3rd movie called Cruel Intentions 3. In 2015, NBC decided once again to try to turn it into a TV series. This time, Sarah Michelle Gellar was going to return and play the role she played in the movie. Those plans were abandoned before the series ever shot. Is this movie really that good? Is it really deserving of a theatrical re-release? Of all the movies that came out 20 years ago, of all those movies that came out in 1999, why is this one getting a theatrical re-release and none of the others? And more importantly, as a cinephile, how come I never hear anyone talking about this movie? If it's got this great cult following, shouldn't I hear people discussing it every now and then? Because I never do. This is one of those movies that I pretty much forget exists because no one ever brings it up in conversation. Yet, apparently, the studio thinks that there's a desire to see it on the big screen again. And apparently there's a demand for merchandise, or else Target wouldn't be selling t-shirts. We are back at the Neshaminy Mall AMC Theater, and I am going to buy a ticket and watch this movie again. It'll be my 2nd time viewing it. The first time was back in 1999 at a movie theater in Winter Park, Florida. I haven't seen this movie since, and it hasn't stuck with me over 20 years apparently, but it must have stuck with someone, or else it wouldn't have a full theatrical re-release again. So let's go in, watch this movie for only the 2nd time in 20 years, and then we'll talk about it and figure out, is it worthy of all this attention? Here's the poster. Back in theaters for 1 week only. I got to the movie a little early, so I started wandering around the mall, and apparently the Paramount logo is the hot thing to wear in your clothes now. Who knew? The studio's going bankrupt, so apparently seeing their movies isn't the hot thing right now, but wearing their logo is. Right, I've killed enough time. Let's head to the movie. I thought I bought tickets for an 11 a.m. show, but I bought the tickets a couple days ago, and Turns out I bought tickets for the 11:50 show, so I had some time to kill. But it is time. My movie is located all the way at the ass end of the theater. So we have go all the way around. Pac-Man. Gotta love Pac-Man. Here we go. Shazam. Shazam and Captain Marvel. The two Captain Marvels together at last. Going to Theater 10. All right, I'm leaving the theater, and I gotta say, I think I have a handle on the appeal of the movie. But we'll talk about that when I get home. All right, I am back from the theater. I just saw Cruel Intentions for the second time ever, first time in 20 years. What did I think? Well, I think I understand why the film has a cult following. I get it. I think I get it. I think this is one of those so bad it's good things. I think people are watching this movie for cheese value because it is not a good movie. It's entertaining. It's entertaining, but it's not a good movie. It is over the top. The dialogue is over the top. A lot of the performances are really hammy and over the top. Selma Blair and Sarah Michelle Gellar especially, and Christine Baranski, they're all really overacting. It's very theatrical. And Ryan Phillippe, he on the other hand is as wooden as can be. You could take Hayden Christensen right out of the Attack of the Clones and plop him into this movie in Ryan Phillippe's place, and they're interchangeable. The dialogue from Attack of the Clones about, your course like sand, that would fit right in this movie. You wouldn't blink. It would fit right in. The dialogue is awful. I mean, this is some of the worst dialogue imaginable. People didn't talk like this in the 90s. People don't talk like this now. It's almost like an adult writing dialogue of how he thinks a teenager would talk, with Sarah Michelle Gellar making really cheesy pop culture references like silly rabbit, and who says that? It was, and don't get me wrong, I make a lot of pop culture references, and this movie didn't ring true for me at all. Like, I wouldn't say some of the things that they were saying. It really felt artificial. Everything about this movie felt artificial. But it's entertaining. It's entertaining. It's not good, but it's entertaining. I think people must be watching this movie for cheese value. I think this must be one of those so bad it's good movies. Sort of how Dave Perillo and I have a great love of The Karate Kid Part 3 for some of the same reasons. But this one's even more over the top probably than Karate Kid 3. So that must be it. Do I think it's worth a full theatrical re-release? Honestly, I don't know who the audience is. There's a lot of cult movies out there that are 20 years old that I hear people talk about to this day. I never hear people talk about Cruel Intentions. I never hear people saying, hey, it was a great movie? Cruel Intentions. It never comes up in the conversation. I keep thinking of the movie Office Space. Office Space came out 20 years ago, and that does indeed have a cult following. People have come to really love that movie over the years. I would say, over the years, movie with a cult following, Office Space has it all over Cruel Intentions in terms of following. I hear people talk about it. I hear people quote that movie. I don't hear that with Cruel Intentions. But there you have it. Cruel Intentions, back for the 20th anniversary, 1 week only. And by the time this video goes live, that week will be half over. So if you want to see it in theaters, you better act quick. I don't know. I can go another 20 years without seeing this again, and I think I'd do fine. It's really a revelation to me to learn that this movie has any kind of cult following. I had no idea, and I'm still not convinced it does, because I do think as a cinephile that my finger's at least on the pulse a little bit. I'm on a lot of movie-related Facebook pages, and I know a lot of people who love movies, and heck, I have a YouTube channel that delves deeply into movies, and I hang out with Cinema Sickness and Rick, and they got movie YouTube channels, and I watch other movie YouTube channels, and I never, ever, ever hear people bring up Cruel Intentions. So this cult following, if there is one for this movie, really comes as a shock to me. It's news to me. But Sony seems to think there's one big enough to support a theatrical re-release. If you like the movie, great. Go check it out. If you do like the movie, chime in down below and tell me what you like about it. Did you know it was a cult classic? Am I in the dark on this one? I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. Keep wearing those pajamas.
Keep wearing those pajamas with the plastic feet. Keep wearing those pajamas. Tell everyone you meet. Keep wearing those pajamas with the back door flap. Keep wearing those pajamas. Don't open, it's a trap. Oh no, it's a trap. Some people call them bitches, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander adamas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep wearing those pajamas. I know we're having fun. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now the song is done.